Michael Saylor announces he's planning to raise another $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin, setting the price down. Bitcoin, crypto, more than tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramouches. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto market, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano. Zamponi bringing the data. The FOMO index has inched up to 57 from yesterday's 52. Bitcoin dominance is 55.4%. 24-hour volume is 84 billion. The overall market cap, 2.3 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community when Bitcoin price action, well, she had a little dumb. But pianomattyb, isn't that a cute little bear flag that just got carved out? And yes, it is. You're right. She's cute and she's little, but the price probability of this pattern is, and sing it with me now. You take the pole, you slide it all, the breakout point, and then we're all in 62.5-ish. We still haven't fulfilled the bearish omen of this cute little bear flag, which does fulfill its destiny down at 62.5. Lord love a duck if she didn't do just that. After white knuckling our channel of eternal monotony support, now acting as resistance, price action couldn't help but fulfill its bearish omen of the bear flag and careen down, finding a bottom and a bounce at 62.3, and has recovered somewhat back up to the headwinds of the 20 moving average, got those winds sucked out of her again, and has started consolidating at time of production 64.4. Once again, white knuckling this support level, but it's Friday and this is the noisy little so-and-so, the 4-hour chart. So let's start talking jive turkey bullish delusion. First off, we have to get back up and over the 20 moving average at 65.2. After which our next goal would be the 50 moving average. End channel resistance way up at 67K. And at that point, we can chalk up this entire week to a bad bearish dream and get on with our lives. Now over on the ding dong, you can see we're having our own troubles with the headwinds from the 20 moving average. Ah yes, the angelic voices of the children's choir of enchanted wicks. Letting us know that a juicy wick has been sacrificed to the gods of wickedness, down at 62.5, and we all know how accurate these pesky little brats are, but maliciously speaking, we have found decent bounces from the 50 moving average. So if, and I say if, we see continued bearish pressure, that 50 moving average might give us the wind beneath our wings. Quick look at the Wookiee. Sees our stay green price for Sunday is way up. It's 68.2. But if you check out our green candle ratio, whilst in this doldruminous chop suey summer, we haven't seen more than 3 green candles in a row without a red devil to cool our fun. So it's the humble opinion of this piano that will probably close red, but I'd like to see us tuck back in and over this channel support, now acting as resistance, at or above -5.3, which would be where the 20 moving average is, over on the ding-dong. But alas, 70K or 60K, this is all just Plinko chips, bouncing around a range. Do you remember how long we bounced around between 25K and 30K? That's right, neither do I, and soon this range will be tossed down that very same memory hole. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, yet we're lucky enough to have them anyway. So get out there and knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee. Join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Or on the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa, cha-cha-cha-ching. And just like that, a star was born. Judy from Plinko, Price is Right, circa 1983. She had such a genuine smile and laugh, and she was so happy. I thought, God damn it, I'm going to put Judy in every video moving forward. I pledge. Well, we'll see. Maybe the next week or so. Then I'll forget. One day I just won't do it, and Judy will be gone forever. Holy smokes, it's the truth.
Wow.
Whoa, man, I mean, big man.
How you doing? Dude, you got me all calmed down and just starting my day with a nice coffee, listening to your sweet singing. And my God, you've been nailing the price action. I'm glad I didn't disagree with you over the past few weeks here. We had you out in Nashville, and I was looking for some downside action too, but you gave me some confluence on that. Now we've had this flush out, and I'm just going through the blood on the altcoin market. My God, some of these altcoins are down bad. But also, you know, I'm a little concerned about Japan's market right now. We woke up to some bad news. So, you know, there's some complex issues happening on the macroeconomic stage right now. And also, I have been fighting algorithmic robots that have decided to ban the blockchain basement from yesterday's rants about I won't get you banned as well. But I highlighted the absolute buffoonery in the Olympics and the boxing match, and also poke some fun at the 72 virgins that everyone thinks that they're going to get on half of the world. So, you know, I get in there, I get feisty, and I am under the watchful eye of the YouTube Eye of Sauron right now. So I'm figuring out how to swim through that.
I was kind of surprised to see that boxing thing happen, because I don't really watch the Olympics anyway, because I don't have cable or access to it. But I mean, if I'm somewhere out, like say at the squash club and Olympics are on, I would probably watch it. So the fact that they are letting men box women, to me, it's so insane that I thought it was a parody at first.
Absolutely. And I try to just ignore the Olympics because of that opening ceremony they did where they just blasphemized Christianity and Islam all in one foul swoop. But, you know, I just had to address it. I have many daughters. I have 3 daughters. And I can't imagine a world where I would be okay watching my daughter get in the ring with a man in a boxing match at the Olympics. Like, This is just beyond chaos. So, I had to address it and sang a little Three Doors Down to start the day off yesterday. I feel like singing Yoshimi versus the Pink Robots today, but I'm just kind of simmering in the situation. And I honestly am thinking about putting up more and more, if not all of my content on Twitter. So I am starting to move into trying to build out a community on Twitter that can hoist this up. We got like 60,000 subs on YouTube though, so it's hard to just turn away and leave it be. But I feel like they're gonna lob my head off like Mel Gibson at the end of Braveheart eventually. So it's coming.
Is that singing video yesterday got taken down?
Yes. I had to cut out a big chunk of the show to get it back on. Surprisingly, though, the views still remain strong on it, and it shows me that people are hungry for the truth. So, and again, YouTube is nothing that I'm going to just step away from, but I do have to understand these same control mechanisms of Alphabet and Meta reared their ugly head when I saw them digitally book burn the Trump assassination information last week. And the teeth that control the narrative are once again showing from the psychotic left. So I have to address it. It's, maybe everyone gets all hot and bothered when I talk about these things, but honestly, it's a conversation about freedom of speech. And I'm a constitutionalist, not a Republican. So I'll just clarify that. It's about freedom of speech, and those teeth are back out. We got to fight harder than ever to retain it. So
I think Bobby Freeman has a good point. He says, I don't know a single person that is for any of this BS. And a lot of times, even on Twitter and even on YouTube, you end up thinking that all these people are crazy and that you're a minority, but it's actually the logical thinker that is the vast majority of what's going on. So like 95% of the people see this boxing and think this is insane, while 5% of them, I don't know, do they even exist? Or I feel like they're almost just trying to push the buttons of the logical thinker.
I would absolutely agree with that, because the people that they're trying to set up these cultural parameters and requirements for are a very, very small portion of the population, like a very small portion of the population, even in city centers, So it's a situation where, the masses are being forced to try to physiologically and on a very cultural level, conform to these small sections of society. And, really, we're seeing a counteractive reaction. And a good example of that I saw is now, the pedo hunters that are out there, God bless them. They're out there doing the Lord's work. They're catching these sickos that are going after children. But Akon decided to show up and start locked up. They won't let you out, locked up. So I can see the cultural change is happening, and I'm here for it. When you push a culture in one direction, the pendulum goes back and then slams back to center in a violent fashion. Obviously not violent action or whatever you want to spin those words into, but I think that the pendulum's swinging in the realm of freedom of speech, and we have to take advantage of this momentum we have and really keep pushing. And thank God we have X to continue that combo on too.
Doubt. Alexander Top G put the blockchain basement subscribe link in there if you happen to not be subscribed yet. Check out yesterday's video that he put up, because guess what? Turns out the Drew's a pretty damn good singer. When I was mining the channel, I was like, hey, this guy knows how to sing. I can tell a good singer. I've been around enough of them, and I could tell this guy knows how to sing. It was pretty good.
I can lay it down, bro. I can lay it down. And I was a heavy metal singer for a very long time. But I can do both in the same song very effectively. But
is there a trick to screaming?
It's just loud talking. You know what I mean? Okay. It's just that's how I look at it. But also one of my favorite bands, Wilson Phillips. Okay. So I listen to soft music, super hard music, some rap. I don't have a hill to die on when it comes to music. I appreciate good artistic expression. And I grew up in a liberal stronghold. It's not like I grew up in the hills or anything like that. I was in Longmont, which is a farm town, but really, I grew up around artistic expression,
All
and
right, the most important
Whoa.
announcence as far as
oh, is
I
that
am
British Hodl?
It was.
Did
I
British
pressed the
Hodls come
wrong.
on the show? No,
I went to Mickey
Hodl.
Big and I accidentally hit British Hollow.
No, I think music's really good for the soul, man. Because like I woke up just very worked up about those censorship mechanisms coming back. And what did I go straight to? I went to my favorite calming music, and that's one of the things that drew me to your channel over the years is the combination of these chaotic price actions, but expressed in a smooth manner, being sung. You know what I mean? You're one of a kind in the ability to
Oh,
do
thanks.
that. So. Yeah, man. I mean, for anyone if you're somehow watching this channel and not subscribed, you're doing yourself a disservice. I mean, this is a great way to start the day. And honestly, we're going to need it more and more as the markets get a little bit more heavy. The price action to the upside and downside becomes much more heavy. And it's a great way to kind of stay centered. Remember that we are just spiritual beings on this
Think about
spinning rock
this.
here.
There's some talk, and we're going to put it up we're going to manifest this, Drew. But next Bitcoin conference in Vegas, there may be a live dueling piano party or event. And imagine getting characters like yourself up to sing a song. It'll be live streamed, of course.
Oh my God.
But imagine that we can just have our own little concert. How epic would that be?
We would crush that. We would absolutely crush that. We need to make that happen. I guarantee you we can make that happen.
Well, the
I am
Billy
now
Goat Tail guys, they're kind of in it, Sin City. It may be a Sin City type of thing going on there, but it's going to be. We got a super chat here. 1 second. John Foster Crypto, a $5 super chat. He says, bullish on Maddie and the Drew.
Dude. Oh my God. We got to do this.
Holy smokes, we got another one.
We have to make this happen, bro.
Cruz with a $5 super chat. He says, pianomattyb, Drew in his excellency. Thank you for both being all you can be. Druth and pianomattyb.
Dude, I mean, we're going to crush this. We're going to light that town up with this. It looks like a mansion party. We're having Billy Goat Tales on the blockchain basement next Friday, too. So I'm super excited for this collaboration. We hung out with Sin City out there in Vegas. We have with Sin City. Absolutely, man. Those guys are awesome. That would be just a power situation. If we could come up there with all of us all together, ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, let's have some fun here, Juth. Let's do some reactions to these things.
All right, the most important announcement, as far as I am concerned, out of Bitcoin 2024 was not President Trump. It was not the strategic reserve. It was not any of that headline-grabbing stuff that Cantor Fitzgerald. He gets on stage and says, we're launching a $2 billion business to allow people to never sell their Bitcoin, to generate leverage and liquidity on their Bitcoin. We are going to create a facility so that you never need to sell your Bitcoin. You can borrow against it, leverage against it, and we're going to start off with $2 billion of lending to prove the concept.
Interesting. So a fund to leverage and profit off of holding Bitcoin. I like that it's the concept of straight holding. British Hodl, I don't know, he's very focused on Bitcoin in particular, and obviously for a good reason. It is the groundwork of crypto. I wonder, though, in this massive over bullishness for the U.S. wanting to build this Bitcoin reserve, what's to stop the U.S. from just printing and then buying up all the Bitcoin and then consolidating that? It's the ultimate players club at a point, right? Like we have to ask ourselves, what was crypto created for? Was it created to become this adopted child of the US government? Or was crypto and Bitcoin created to usurp and go around financial power mechanisms that have kept us financially enslaved for hundreds, if not thousands of years, right?
Yeah, you always got to be aware of the Trojan horses. Like the power apparatus isn't just going to go, oh, you know what? I did hear about this Bitcoin. Let's do it. Let's switch it. Let's get rid of the US dollar. Who cares about the hegemony? We'll just go right into Bitcoin. So you like even the what was there, Senator Loomis? I actually
Yeah,
think
Cynthia
she
Loomis.
has good intentions, but she's just
Mhm.
a useful puppet too. There's many players in this cast, and the actual small little family that controls it will just like send her out to do this bill. Meanwhile, the bill's like any bill. It's got
Mhm.
one page, top title page with reserved treasury, and then 600 sub bills, which basically negates everything that she's trying to say. So she comes out looking pretty normal. However, she's
Mhm.
just the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, she wants to be hopeful that governments, and particularly JP Morgan, will get out of that third position. Essentially, banks and these systems within our Federal Reserve exist to capture not only your monetary buying power, but that middleman payments.
Mm-hmm.
And to imagine them just being like, you crypto guys, you figured this out. You're right. We're just going to sit back and make sure your roads and your potholes are filled up.
Yeah.
I think you got another thing coming for you. We got another super chat. We're building up a concert
That's
fund here from
right.
Carl
That's right.
Elder.
What do you have it? What does it say at all?
Yeah,
Quickly.
put this toward the concert fund. Shout out to you, Carl, and give you a like there. Freaking
A
awesome,
super
man.
chat from the man, Carl Elder. He says, put this in the fund. Can't wait to see the truth. And pianomattyb in Sin City.
Dude, we're gonna light it up out there. I am so excited about this. Like, now that I know what we're doing a year from now, when I know what I need to do, I make that happen. You know what I
Pick
mean?
a
I got
song.
some creation vibes. I went out there to Nashville, tried to sing some Johnny Cash. The band on stage was like, "Come on up and sing." I was like, "You know Johnny Cash?" They said no.
Come on.
My heart was broken.
Well,
I was like, "You're
maybe
in Nashville?"
there is a chance that asking for a Johnny Cash song in Nashville is like asking a piano bar to do Piano Man. It could be
Fine.
or going into a
It
guitar
could be.
store and playing Stairway to Heaven type thing. It could be
Well,
one of those things.
I had intentions because there's some people there in the crowd that if anyone knows where I come from, they know that there's another side of the fence, and I wanted to say God's gonna cut you down. I wanted to sing that song. I had very specific intentions with that one. So, but there's always time. I'll get it. We'll figure out our best songs, and we'll lay it down. I'm super excited about that. But and on British Hodl, I mean, yes, it's great that we have BlackRock ETFs coming in for Ethereum now too, and Bitcoin. It's going to pump our bags. Is it going to kill the chance for financial freedom 10 years from now by consolidating all the wealth to the same people that already have it? Right? Like, I don't know, man. It's kind of a number go up. Yay. I buy hard iron goods. I'm going to buy a tank. But on the other side, it's like, I think that we might need to be looking at some options on the decentralized side that might be able to offer that next step of growth for crypto over the next 10 years. Saying some uncomfortable stuff. But if we, the people, want to continue to transact freely and have a system that is built upon that, we got to either take this situation with BlackRock and all the rest very seriously, or start designing an alternative system, because they can capture stuff over the course of years.
What I took away from Hodl's thing is what I've been kind of listening for, and my prediction is that this bull run will come out with maybe the most legit form of Bitcoin bank where you can actually borrow against, and it's not a honeypot or a Celsius or something that's gonna, steal your Bitcoin. However, I probably won't be on the first train to borrow off of the Bitcoin when it comes around, because you never know. I mean, everyone was so hyped against Celsius, and
Mm-hmm.
boom, it imploded. But when it comes down to some of these centralized massive hedge funds that are in bed with the government, while you also have to be careful that it's not just a government honeypot to take your Bitcoin. right? We'll
Mm-hmm.
take them all. Yeah, we'll take them all. And then you can't get them back. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
how confident would you be to even share in a smart contract with one of these companies that you're borrowing, let's say 20% of a loan to value type thing, and you can't get it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I mean, long term, not at all. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. And honestly, like, there's data to prove why I'm so skeptical of this. Is in 1930 they moved out gold confiscation, and sure, they didn't shoot the people that didn't hand the gold over. They came and asked nicely with weapons in their hand, and got a lot of gold from the American public by doing so. So I do have to think about that. It is kind of an interesting situation too. When I thought about how long it took gold to be accepted into a spot ETF compared to a futures ETF. There is, 50 years time that we spent with a futures ETF availability for gold before they opened up the spot ETF availability for gold. Bitcoin didn't have to wait nearly as long. The price performance, the explosiveness of the interest of Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a much higher velocity than gold. So I think that played into why they kind of moved this in. We got talked to Ernest from Decrypted Tax. I know Ernest from Decrypted Tax. He's a good guy.
Something
Absolutely.
about maybe borrowing against your crypto from good old Dave Digital.
Yeah, absolutely. But really, I don't know. Like, I am worried about not only the mining being basically consolidated to only the powers that be,
Yeah.
but also like Ethereum. We saw that they bent the knee when there was sanctions put against Iran and Russia. So all of a sudden, ladies in Iran weren't able to use Ethereum. And the sanctions definitely were enforceable on the Ethereum blockchain as well. So these are uncomfortable questions I have to bring up now before we're 5 years down the road and it's already too late. Essentially,
I agree.
you know.
Take a look at another one there, Druth.
Another assassination attempt against President Trump is coming before the election. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of a current Secret Service sniper in a newly released internal memo. What if I told you that the Secret Service is officially entrenched in a cover-up? Would that surprise you at all? What if I also told you that the FBI is knowingly spinning a total lie by omission?
Man, first of all, I agree with him very much so. I think that what I was talking about months before the election was that, oh my God, Johnny December with a $10 super chat. Holy cow, Johnny December.
One second. Johnny December with a $10 super chat. I'll fly back to the US of A for the next Bitcoin conference. Say, if you two play together, much love. Much love. Happy Friday. Can we get out of here? I think we just did. Thank you, Johnny December. Thank you for the super chat.
What a G. Yeah, God, what was I talking about? I was thinking about
assassination attempt.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. So a few weeks ago, before the actual attempt happened, I just was warning everyone that's on the Trump side, like, the Democrats are acting a little bit too confident. Mind you that they had Joe Biden representing them at the time, and they just walked around like they had all the things figured out. They had the ace up their sleeve. And I was warning everybody that they're acting too confident. It's making me uncomfortable. Something's coming. Then lo and behold, Plan A of the Dems was released. And yes, it missed, thank God, because liberals can't aim. But now Plan B is Kamala ? Probably not, honestly. Like, Plan B is probably to either attempt Plan A again or just roll out some sort of emergency to lock up the polls. Because I think that if they open the polls in a honest fashion, the Democratic Party would be eviscerated, to the point where actually we'd probably see a third party, a Libertarian Party, rise up and find some, probably RFK to lead it up if he doesn't join the Trump cabinet, for the next election. Like, this situation for the Dems is very uncomfortable because, again, they have Kamala out there representing them. Like, if I was a Democrat that wanted to win an election, I would have neither Joe Biden or Kamala Harris representing the situation, like, at all, because that's almost sure doom at the polls. But again, they're just acting so confident, like they got everything locked up. And in that mindset, I think that, for anyone that wants to have a chance for freedom, I think you need to think very, very long and hard about the options that you have for president. And RFK is the most bullish on Bitcoin and the most intelligent when it comes to Bitcoin and the power that we can actually utilize from Bitcoin in hardening our digital infrastructure. Trump has those same levels of intelligence on his shoulder, giving him the right direction as well. And Trump's poll is much stronger than RFK. And I'm saying this as a 20-year RFK fan. I am planning to vote for Trump and supporting RFK along the way. And honestly, I'm really thinking that Trump will make RFK his attorney general when and if we have an election. Because that's kind of how I see it. I can love both candidates on both the third party and the Republican side. But honestly, there isn't a single person on the Dems that I can find agreements with at this point. And it's kind of sad to say. Ooh, we breaking up above 65 because I'm talking truth to
There
them
you
too.
go.
Look at that.
They're pumping the market.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I don't think there is a fair. I don't think the elections are fair as long as it's digital and as long as they're trying to kind of mask everything and make it complicated. That's why the Dems will put Kamala Harris and whoever, like some dead body up there, because they don't really care. It's just a puppet anyway. They'll fix the election and they'll do whatever they want. The people that are actually running the election, right? And everyone's just worried about these small topics and they fight amongst themselves and create all this strife amongst the civilians. And meanwhile, they're just like, yeah, you guys keep fighting over these stupid things. We'll put in our puppets.
100%. Like when I saw the Venezuelan election graph, it brought up, it's structurally the exact same as Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And seeing that graph come out, man, I had to spend a whole day in mourning because I know that the world is under the same power structures that we saw usurp us 4 years ago. And, you've been a freedom fighter this whole time through. So big shout out to you. But I am aggravated with the newly found freedom fighters that are showing up and acting like they run the show and will save our freedom of speech when we're in the bottom of the 9th inning. We are a few months away. You sat here and called, the J6 people insurrectionists this whole time and helped feed that narrative. And all of a sudden you're a freedom fighter. Like, it's just it's like, where were you? I just want to start singing that country song. But, it is nice to see more and more people waking up. I guess we just got to turn up the heat on getting the information just straight into the veins in a very fast manner because we only have a few months left.
Well, we're in stage 1 of our bullish delusion today. We wanted to hit a 65.2 at the 20 moving average. And Lord love a duck, if we haven't done that right on the live stream, next stop is the 50 moving average up at 67K, which isn't that far.
Man.
It's, $1,700 away. We could probably do that maybe on this stream. Wouldn't that be crazy?
And like I don't know your opinion particularly where we stand right now on this is, but I'm feeling like since everybody on the trading side is expecting that CME gap to be filled, I think that they're just gonna miss it from happening because it's just in my experience in Bitcoin, like it likes to leave both sides of the aisle depressed in its price action before it really starts to rip. So I have been warning people that are like even, macro experts that are calling, we got to get this thing down to 50. I think the CME gap is pretty big down in the, I can't remember if it was like 57, but it did create a pretty large CME gap. And I'm just kind of warning people that maybe you're not going to get it because the longer Bitcoin is like on the CME future side, the more data we have. It's only been on there since 2017, and the more price action and the longer Bitcoin is out there on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the more of these CME gaps are created and never filled. So that is something that is in the back of my head when I see all the people that are so sure of themselves on the price action, you know?
Yeah, as soon as I hear people saying this will never happen or this is going to happen, you can almost guarantee that it'll do the opposite. The market
Mm-hmm.
likes to take as few people with it when it rips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at our last one here. What was that?
Yeah. Well, that's the power of spot holding. You know what I mean? Knowing what you hold and then just being stubborn, being convicted. That's where the power of that comes. That's how you can out trade them.
Yeah, and like I care not for bulls nor bears, and when you're in this with a long time horizon, where who cares? Like I said in the video, do you remember 25 to 30? That was a very long channel. Do you even remember it?
Yep, absolutely.
And this one will be like like maybe when we're channeling at 90 to 100, we'll be like, remember we're at 60 to 70 for like 5 months, and people will be like, were we at 60 to 70? I don't really remember. But it'll
we
happen.
crashed down to 90K. Oh my God, it's over.
It's over.
That's going to be the conversation soon. So
sell your bags.
Just strap in.
Let's take a look at another one here, and then we'll call her a day on this Friday morning.
All throughout British Empire, they kept the people they're trying to subjugate off meat. When they went to India, they pulled them out of the forest. They stopped them being able to hunt. They put them on plantations to grow crops, and they paid them with grains and crops. This isn't a new tactic to keep people away from meat, to keep them subjugated and docile, just fat and lazy and not ready for a fight. Your hormones are screwed. I put people on a carnivore diet, and their testosterone levels triple. Just imagine that happening to the population. You'd have a lot of people thinking a lot differently. They're healthy, they're happy, they're vigorous, and they're invigorated, and they're just being like, yeah, this is bullshit. I'm going to do something about it, you know? And so I'm not saying that they're doing that. I'm just saying that has been done. And I am saying that the pharmaceutical companies and the sugar companies are absolutely pumping this crap out in order to turn a profit.
Was that Martin Shkreli at the end there?
It
Just
was. He peeked his head in there, yeah.
Dude, I ran into him, and he is the size of my leg, literally. And I called him Farmer Bro, and I was like, bro, take a selfie with me. You're the Farmer Bro. And he got like so offended because I wanted to take a selfie just so I could show, because everyone thinks he's bigger than life. He's one of those big mouths that ran that DJT token scam.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, essentially, I think there is tons of truth to the value of being able to have access to good steak and good chicken. And that is my diet. I have a little bit of rice that I put a lot of steak onto. So I do have some grains still, but at large, switching over to meat and then working out 5-6 days a week in some different degree, I think is actually really, really beneficial for the mind as well. Because I feel like we have this thing in America called the sad American diet, which is an imbalance of good biomes and bad biomes in your gut. Essentially, when we were not controlled by these corporations that made all of our food for us and handed it to us on a styrofoam platter, we had an 80% good biome to 20% bad biome balance in our guts. And now we are completely opposite of that. We are 20% good and 80% bad within our bellies. And there's a lot of connection to your belly and your brain and your mood and your just fortitude. So I really think that diet and health care of yourself and treating your body as a temple will make you even that much better at making money. I literally think that they're very, very closely correlated. And some people, everyone's different. You can go take a blood test and get your different levels for what your body really enjoys. But me personally, nothing is better than a medium rare steak with maybe a little cauliflower rice on the side, maybe a little bit of something like that. But that is my main jam. And then obviously vegetables. Wrapped jalapenos, bacon wrapped jalapenos are one of my favorite things in the world.
Nice.
So but I think that we underscore the importance of our food. Because it's so easy to go through a drive-through and to just get food handed to you for cheap. But really taking the time making the food at home, it clarifies the mind and it makes you just that much more powerful. God, Bitcoin is pumping off these words. Look at this.
65.3, the truth.
Ooh, baby. That's right.
Bitcoin
All
likes the
right.
truth.
That's right, baby.
That's where I kind of stumbled into the carnivore diet, was from Bitcoin and it being the apex predator, and steak and ribeye is a big fatty steak being the apex predator of nutrition. And I think you're right. When you clear the garbage out of your diet, you not only perform better physically, but you think clear mentally. And I think it allows you to focus more on your goals. 65.4. Here we go, Drew. 65.4.
We pumping these markets, man, single-handedly. We called the devs. We're like, listen, we're tired of this. Let's pump this. Another great food is buffalo. And this is very crypto related for me, man, because I'm a middle class dude. I don't make a bunch of money. I do this job because it's like in my soul to do it. And crypto is what allows me to buy enough good meat for a massive family. I have 4 kids and a beautiful wife, and they all love organic food, and it's expensive.
What do you think
right
a dinner
now.
costs at Drew's table on a given week?
$100 for sure.
Wow.
$100. If I'm if I'm making it myself, it'll be somewhere around like $30 to maybe $40.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it is very, very expensive. My average grocery bill per month ranges from like $2,500 to $3,000 for a month's worth of food. And that, granted, that's us not eating out really that much at all. If I do eat out, I got some good taco places, some taquerias or a steakhouse or something like that. But at large, I like to eat at home because I know what's in the food. And also, I like to use the eggs that are out of our chickens because I don't trust the eggs at the grocery store. I like to use the vegetables from my garden because I know where they came from. I know that there's not a bunch of pesticides and garbage on them. And I like to use my own tomatoes. I like to use all my own stuff if at all possible. So it is very expensive to get these things set up, and crypto changed my life years ago and set me up in a situation where the dad of all these wonderful kids and this beautiful wife, can now provide that. And, great number go up on crypto, but I'm trying to emphasize the fact that you can literally change your whole life with crypto, not just the finance. You can really change everything.
You're right. And it is a waterfall. It's a cascade of knowledge, right? The more you learn about Bitcoin, the more you learn the uncommon knowledge of economy and the history of the monetary system. And it changes you forever. And you become almost socially inept in certain, because you can't keep your mouth shut. If someone brings up someone will bring up how orange the oranges are, and you'll be like, well, speaking of orange, Bitcoin, and then boom, you're off on it, right? But hey, that's our job, right? We have to keep screaming.
And you have to run it back to reality, because they always say they've psyoped everyone into thinking magic internet money, like it's just a big scam that doesn't exist. You can't buy anything with it. And especially in the Second Amendment world, there's a lot of folks on the outside looking into crypto like, what the heck is this even? Why do you even do this? So I take some friends to the Pew Pew store and I go grab whatever I want off the shelves. You know what? That one looks good. Here, you want some crypto? There you go. I pay it with crypto. I show them how to do it. And then they realize, wow, this is a real thing, that you are literally changing your life. You're able to act like this only because of crypto, not because of this failing fiat dollar that's melting through your fingers like an ice cube slowly. And yeah, you can put the rubber to the road and really, really show them that this can change your life tangibly. That's important to do. I think that is very, very important to do.
Take a look at this. I always considered myself a bargain gumshoe when it came to grocery shopping. Dave Digital. I make steak, eggs, avocado, and a fresh jalapeno for less than $7.50 a person.
He's crushing it. I mean, and
crazy.
Avocado and steak is a great combination.
For sure.
Great combination.
You get that fat, right? If you eat too much protein, too much steak without enough fat, you don't feel so good. You need the fat lubrication for your brain and your hormones. When I if I find, so the correlation between Bitcoin and ribeyes for me, right? I'm always on these apps looking for ribeye deals. And as soon as I can like stack the coupons, one or two, and get a ribeye down to about 11 or $12 Canadian. So that's
Mhm.
like, I don't know, $7 or $8 American, which is pretty cheap for a big old ribeye. I will back the truck up, and whatever
Oh, yeah.
cash is lying around, I'll buy hundreds. I'll clean out the store, and then I'll go to there's a sister store across the city, and I'll clean them out. Because it's just like, it's like when Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin goes down under 60, back the truck up. Goes down to 40, it doesn't matter how low it goes, you're always going to back the truck up. I look at it the same way with
Yeah.
ribeyes.
Man, and I'm about due to buy another chunk of a cow too. I really like giving money to the farmer down the street from my house. It feels way better to give him a bunch of money for a lot of food than a pretty good amount of money to a corporation. So,
How much is a
as
cow
much as
down
we
there?
can. Man, I mean, it ranges. Like I can get, and I think the last time I spent like $1,000, and I was set up for months. I can't remember exactly how many months. I basically just spend $1,000 and just stack the freezer that's on my porch as much as it'll fill. But then, also there's smaller dealers that come out with a ribeye steak. They'll get you a ribeye steak. I think they're like $2 a piece for 10 ounces. I mean, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
$2?
So,
$2 a
yeah,
steak?
but you got to buy a lot of them. You got to buy a lot of them. That's
How
the deal
many?
of it, God, I mean, I think I have to buy like 40 at a time to get that deal.
So we're talking under $100 for 40?
Yeah, man. It's
That's
a good deal.
insane.
Yeah. So, I mean,
The
and
best deal I've heard.
and
And
it's
I'm a
also a
bargain
smaller
gumshoe.
company. I know, man. It's a smaller company. So, and that goes into like self custody and crypto and stuff. And like, people always go for like the centralized exchange because it's easy. It's easy to go to the grocery store and just toss a bunch of stuff in that little thing in your cart and then be able to check out. But it costs you tons more money to do so. So, just doing it that way, you can get a little bit better bang for your buck.
Yeah, even sticking to a cleaner diet, like just steak and some vegetables, let's say, it you actually, some people say it's more expensive because you're eating steak, but I would argue once you're in a clean diet, you're no longer going to restaurants. So a lot of times we forget we won't consider that Tuesday lunch we had with a buddy. Oh, I went to a blah 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 restaurant and it was $50 for like a bunch of garbage food. We'll go, that doesn't matter, right? $50, depending on how low you can get the ribeye, that's good. That's 3 ribeyes. That's 3 meals right there.
Absolutely, man. And like Dave Digital's diet is just a G. It's $7.50 a person for me. That comes out right around like $50, maybe $55, and that's a great meal for my entire family at that rate. So,
No doubt.
We got to change it. We got to make sure that this next generation isn't just McDonald's Wall-E type characters. For anyone that's seen Wall-E with the little robot trying to clean up the earth as all these people float around in their chairs watching a television in front of them, and we're getting closer and closer to that. And I think that the diet is a very important mechanism to making sure that we have a strong society 20 years from now. So
100% agree.
It's not a small subject matter, man. We pumped this market up with this conversation, though. I think Bitcoin likes when we get together.
Bitcoin likes the truth. It's always on the truth side. That's for sure. Tell us about Blockchain Basement before we get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Blockchain Basement. I definitely cover crypto. I cover a lot of altcoins as well. A lot of systems. I'm not afraid to tell people their crypto project sucks. I'm not afraid to call out scammers in the industry. I'm not afraid to go against the teeth of Alphabet and their censorship monster machinery. And we also have a portion of the website where basement.supplies, we sell preparedness gear, bug out bags, first aid kits. But we also have what's called the Black Site, where I have a colleague, Veteran Crypto, who's an absolute savage on military know-how. And me and him put together basic survival and tactics informational systems for people that are being exposed to how crazy the world is getting. We've created a resource for those, especially in the city centers, that will see things get wiggy over the next few months. a path to not only make money in crypto, but to protect your money and to retain your wealth. So that is something that I am very huge on. I am just as bullish on the Second Amendment as I am on Bitcoin. Without the Second Amendment, we don't have the first. So I am very much focused on that. And that's kind of what we're all about, man.
Unbelievable. And a reminder, if you haven't heard Drew sing, go back to yesterday's video, check it out. You can, I think you start out right with a song.
I started it out right away. I'll go ahead. I may as well, since you're bringing it up, I will pop it in the chat. And this is the video that YouTube decided to, that's the first time that they've decided to literally just wipe the whole live stream off. And I, kicked up some steam and made sure to, I got my point across in what I had to cut out, but I was able to get it back online, thankfully. And yeah, man, I mean, it's aggravating to see. I felt like I was being very reasonable in talking about the Olympics, and they still decide to ban it. And then you see all these other massive channels able to discuss it. It gets hyper aggravating for me. But we're still out there. We're still fighting the good fight. So I just put a link in the description for everyone. It's I don't know if I did it the correct way, but put the link in there. It's a live stream with essentially me screaming at the camera. Is like Bitcoin doomsday, Chainlink exposed, and you can go into why all the Chainlink FUD's a bunch of BS and one of the strongest assets to be able to hold into the next bull market. So,
well, speaking of singing songs, tonight is the biggest and the best live dueling piano stream on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, in the entire world. And how amazing is it going to be when we're in Vegas doing this piano stream? Special guest Drew coming up, and I promise you this: if you want to do Johnny Cash, we'll do Johnny Cash for sure.
I mean, I can sing whatever. I just chose Johnny Cash because there was a certain person in the crowd that I wanted to say, "God's gonna cut you down." So,
well, what would be your second request?
Oh, I mean, I really like Creed. Can you take me higher?
Creed?
I'm a I love Nickelback. I love Audio Slave. We could even do some Slipknot if you're feeling froggy. Let's do a piano Slipknot, maybe. Maybe we meld piano and heavy metal together. You know what I mean? Or Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, a fave, right? There's a lot of options here.
You'd be amazed at how many times we get requested System of a Down.
Oh, man, I can rock some System of a Down. I love System of a Down. We can, I mean, it's pretty wide open. We should leave it up to chat. We should put up a poll and just keep taking the input from people in the comments and figure out what they want to see, because it seems like a bunch of people are going to be flying out for this. So let's deliver to the people.
It'll be a party like no party. Well, right, everybody, man. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you haven't subscribed to Blockchain Basement, or you've checked Drew out on Twitter, go and subscribe to both of those. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see you tonight at the live piano bar. Have a good day, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.